We start once again this topic, Archangel meeting with me as a Messiah. From here we just took a break. We should come to know about God. When you talk about God knowledge, when you talk about God divine secret truth, when God talk about or touch any topic of creation, if this is a science, or this is a medicine, or this is spirituality, and etc., what doesn't matter. God knowledge go beyond the transcends the time and space. Yes? Because as a creator, He knows things what internal time period we will continue grow. I can give my best example. I walk all my life, and now as become as an old man, I am realizing how little I know about Creator. On the other hand, if I come to the horizontal level, and if I have an argument about theology difference, what Jesus says, what Muhammad says, what other prophet says, by time passed by in spirituality, I don't see like a Jesus or Muhammad or other prophet. The one advantage is for me that I can learn things from history, not to make those mistakes. The mistake they have made in the will of God. Now question arises, if I am perfect, if you talk about in love, yes, I am perfect. Who say? If I say I am perfect in the love of God, I am lying. It means I give examination and I give myself the note. It doesn't work. I am perfect in love, that's what Creator say. Give me witnessing certificate that you will never separate your love from Creator, your loyalty, your solidarities, your breath and internal life. Your love have found unification with me. God gave me this witnessing and certificate. That's the only way I can say. Otherwise, it seems very funny when I say, yes, I am perfect in love. Yes, I am very special. No. Creator had, because I just came in the history not so long ago. In this case, in spiritual growth, my Creator telling me how far is my growth taking place, how much is disadvantages in my spirit, what I have to overcome, and it's go on and on actually. But when coming about divine knowledge, when coming in other topics, God never say I'm perfect. God never says someone, any prophet, that you are perfect in every knowledge. And even in my case, God said very clear. When He gave me one minister cabinet, 19 being, and He says, you are a boss of this archangel. You can make your decision. But according to the knowledge growth, you will make a wrong decision. Because you have not grown in this field. So long you will take a guidance by 19 being, so long you will not make any mistakes. So I give you this 19 being, and in every field of knowledge, they will guide you. Now question is how I understand this external knowledge and all the spiritual knowledge. If I can make a mistake, yes, I can make a mistake. How I understand, how I express, and if I make a mistake, this is not a mistake of 19 being, or especially one occasion when God explained me, and when I expressed in my book, God said to me, you did not understood. So God explained me again, and asked me to write down like this until God was satisfied. So it means we are creator being. And Creator is the one who decides the purpose of life, who creates things. God created us, so we are reserved being. No human, no donkey, no monkey can decide purpose, because Creator, before He created, He knows the concept and the reality, and He knows what is the good for this creation and all the details. If time play one role in our growth, yes, it takes time in our growth. Well, what about God? If time takes growth in God's case, no, time was not even existing. So here time is not existing. In this case, God is above the time. In our creations, space are there. Everything has made for you, ready. In God's case, space was not there. Because material element has been so packed that not millimeter space was there in internal material. So God break down the material. So in this case, God is transcends the time, space, light of speed. So according to my observation, I am guiding you. Tomorrow, life after, when I'm gone, there will be someone who will use my foundation. And he will give better expression. His growth will be much more taking highlight actually. He has used my foundation. Yes? Everything is possible. In this case, angel was saying to me that Zahid, you should know. God is a reason for everything what is existing in all external creation and internal creation across the eternities. We are living because in this external internal creation, life has a movement. Yes? There was a time life has no movement. There was no concept even. But God was there. Life came because of love. Beautiful. But there is a time there was no concept of love. So there was no love, no life actually. There was no concept, no reality. But God was existing another basis. God is the first cause of external and internal universe. And we are the result being. But the first cause came, we came to know very much later, first cause. But God was existing another basis. Now this is a word of God word. What angel sings that since long time before light was created, emotion was created, awareness was created, God was unaware. Unaware means you can see he was existing self basis But until that time, he don't want to create. He don't want to have concept or realities or anything. He was existing self-basis. And very early, before even love became in the reality, or love took a birth, God knows himself much more than any creation is created. And our heavenly parent, the only one God, this angel was saying, he created heaven, he created so much, and also external creation. Finally, he received satisfaction in his love, in your form. God found his ideal in you, in love. You have demonstrated. So question is, since how long God was before the concept, he has in his awareness or unawareness, nobody knows. When angels say this thing, after saying this thing, they all went and bowed before me. And then they were saying, I heard the voices, harmonized voices, and they were saying in heaven, angel and all beings, O Creator, who know all the hidden realities of love, we bow to you, thankful to you. Yeah. I'm sorry, they all went bow. In this case, not before me, they went bow to God. Sorry, I have making a mistake here. Because they was glorifying God. And I also was bowing when they were glorifying God, what they were saying in one unification voice. So they were saying, we are so thankful to you. You are the only one who you know yourself actually. And they were saying to God, we only come to know you a little bit more when you open up yourself in knowledge, in truth, in spirituality. When you open yourself, then we come to know the nature of all the knowledges or all the divine truth. Only so far, how far your kindness is for us. And he is over his creation. His knowledge, His truth, His love, His awareness is not one place. Everything has been expanded. You cannot pinpoint the direction. Even you cannot pinpoint the direction, which direction is God. Like a sun rising, little example. You cannot pinpoint where is the light. Light is everywhere. So you cannot tell limited is got light even. Then God is over the light, dominion over the light. Archangel was saying to me, "O Zahid, you came very late in this creation, but you are blessed and finally we realize that you are new expression of love. And God calling you a founder of love, which this love was never shared and discovered from God's heart, which was so much hidden on the other side. Angel was saying you went so far in the love of God that God opening His heart and revealing to us whatever God revealing, this is for all creation, all created being. Doesn't matter if they are angel or other creation. So they were saying you are new opening, new spring times, new expression of love. Angel was opening themselves and their emotion, their heart, and says, but there's a deep one pain is in our emotion. That we have a long time confrontations. Confrontation with you, but we did not came to know your value, God point of view. It took us a long time before we came to this realization. And they says, we give you permission. You are the one. Hey, shh! Come here. Hey! Alina! Hello? I'm sorry, this was some distribution. And they were saying to me, we have now given permission we have given you permission and authority of our heart. You are our Lord. When I heard this thing, I say to this angel creation, an archangel, you call me your angel and giving me authority of your heart. However, I'm a one created being. If one day even I forget you in love, but God will not forget you. But more than this, man, when God saying I'm His heart, representing His heart in eternal life, so there's a witnessing that I will not forget you or any creation. When I say this thing, it inspired so much angel, archangel. There was mystics and was saying very intensive voices. I have never seen such a deepest love of angel ever before, how they was expressing their feeling for me. Even there was they was not harmonizing with me long time, 40 years. Even they have another point of view. And even they have a other opinion about me. God was giving them this universal freedom. In case I always know their value, I know this creation, how much they have in investment, their energy, their emotion for God, and for sake of God, they are investing all this emotion, energy, everything for His creation. After a little while, Archangel Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Malik, Israfil, and 12 million angels they want to take me someplace else. But they took me in Archangel, their capitals, where they all getting together, where they make a mostly decision. They asked me to sit on one archangel, highest chair, and then Archangel Gabriel was representing. They allow him, Archangel Gabriel, to represent them. First of all, they were staring each other silently. Then Gabriel wanted to speak with me, and tear was falling in his eyes. And he said to me, "O Zahid, human history is filled with pain, sadness, suffering. And in this Archangel capital, we like to share with you in this parliament because of this human creation, and God gave us the authority to us, our angel history to help them. Human creation is filled with sadness too. We could not bring mankind back home to God. What God was expecting from us, we could not bring exceptional spiritual happiness, Glückseligkeit to God. Time was passing. Human creation and also horizontally many other creation. They did not become return back to God. Even we have tried. All in our authority, we could not make it. In your human creation, we like to test more. Came many prophets, many Messiah. And in end of their journey, we came to know there was stranger. They could not hold on their profit, hold on their loyalties, and all the promises which they have given to God and angels. As a result, we also could not return back to God. We don't want to bring God more sadness. And also countless angels have never returned back to paradise. Paradise, there are countless to mention. Question was which face we should go to God and show God our face. That so much time has been passed and this human creation did not came to know the value of God or don't want to know the value of God. And they don't want to return back home. After all this, process of restoration was continued. And finally you came. You arrived. You arrived not only evening time, but in dark night. When night was too dark. Because of our bitter experience and painful experiences, in the routine, we could not trust the Prophet and the Messiah. Our bitter experiences, broken heart experiences, we got a confrontation with you. First of all, Messiah and Prophet was the object. But by all means you want an object of God. And your sentence that God, kingdom of God love will appear the way God wants. And you refuse to have compromises with us. Our point of view was that you denying all the process of angelical history, what we have done for you, done for mankind. to this deep, utter darkness, and also confrontation with you, and you confrontation with us, not listening and other creations. This deep dark night pass and morning dawn break down. Here we see things. First time we saw things different. We came to know your value. We came to know what kind of heart you have for God. Even you never returned back to God. Because God was saying, in this your journey, doesn't matter how many crosses come, how many painful, dark days and time comes, you have to go through. Now we are here in this Archangel Parliament, and we are saying, who we thought they are our, actually they were strange. And who we confrontate, make a confrontation and thought he's a stranger and want to destroy our angelical creation. Actually, he was more closer than our heart to us. We have seen you in God's point of view. When morning breakdown, when Archangel and Gabriel was saying, I heard sobbing. I heard so much broken heart voices. Archangel was opening their heart and they were shedding tears and crying. It took time before the sadness became lighter. Then Michael came and took me in his arms. And says to me, you are our and God is our God. You just tell from whole heart what you want. Because now we see you as a God point of view, with God eyes. Michael say, when Lucifer break God's heart, he lost his morning star, highest love reward. One of highest reward. But you are different. You are not only morning stars to revealing the truth, You're also a morning star in love of God. When we look at you, we see one wave, one wind of love, and it makes us mystic in your love. From now on, we will never deny your value, but you are not sitting in this external chair which is belong to Archangel. You are sitting in our heart. Then Michael say, Archangel, I remember this in the past when human creation was not existing. There was no concept about human creation. As Archangel, our creation, and angel creation, we was loving God, we was obedience to God, we was harmony with God, we was composing song and music for God, and even Lucifer. Even God was saying Lucifer music, composing music, his song and his voice and his poetry take me far away when I was alone. And he was representing finally as a morning star, as our archangel, representing position. Because of his value, what God was saying, we embrace him in love, because Lucifer growth, he will. He took as a morning star in the spiritual world, many creation, darkness away. He could express about God, and lot of darkness was removing. But now here is another phenomenon took place in human history. That even Lucifer was a great confrontation with you. By no means he wanted that your mission for the will of God ever succeeded. And he done everything to destroy you, to bring your mission in the end, so he can continue rule the fallen world. But finally, his son and daughter in heaven, and even he came to know your value. Even still, his son and daughter who are in heaven, by time to time went fallen world, in dark world, in the hell, and wanted that Lucifer, their father, should come back and don't make any more confrontation against goodness and against angel and against God. When Lucifer's time was 40 years was over against confrontation to destroy you, and he could not make it, he thought you will take a revenge like a other Messiah and prophet, and you will bring him in the... He was already in the lowest hell, but you will make sure that he never come out from there with their... So much you will be angry, dislike and hate him. However, instead to take a revenge, we and Lucifer saw another phenomenon, because even we as an archangel and angel accuse him that he is the reason for all the hell. And simply asking forgiveness to God and to come out from the dark dimension as an individual is not enough. He has to liberate all this hell which in which he created with mankind and other fallen angel and fallen being. But here was the situation totally different. You decide to go beyond this time, prior to this time when human creation was not existing. You have expressed Lucifer love, angel love, his obedience, his dedication. How much he was loving God and also our values. At one occasion, his son or daughter came from heaven in dark dimension, and they say to him, Father, they say to Lucifer, they will become, they say, the basis and the foundation, the kingdom of God has laid by the God heart. And it's a question of time. They will become a great prophet, great messiahs. Earth will be filled with God's loved one or God's beloved one, but we'll let you know and let you think distraction. There will be never and ever gonna come someone like Zahid. And they say this is not only our statement, this even God says. They will be never come to one heart. And when God gives this statement, so we want to share with you. If you miss this chance and the age of this time where Messiah living on earth, then we tell you there will be no Messiah, no prophet who would have one space in his heart for you. This kindness is only because he is the founder of God's love. And he is the founder of discovering God's love. When he will pass away and he will go spiritual world, this opportunity, golden, amazing grace will never come to you ever. And we ask you again, reconsider. And if you have a little bit light left in your heart, then think with your heart. That this opportunity never gonna rise. Even kingdom of God will establish on earth. Don't let it go. This opportunity pass. Messiah, God's heart, is living on earth. You try everything to destroy his mission for the will of God. There is nothing which you did not do that he would be wiped out from the earth. And you went on with this hate against him. You was not the only one. Also, angel felt distant from him. Prophet felt distant from him. And other creation felt distant from him. They all was making confrontation. This God's heart we call Zahid, he never returned back to God. He never complained to God. Because God was saying, you have asked this mission, so don't come back to me. So he never returned back to God. Finally, your time became over 40 years. And look at, he didn't take any revenge and punish you. He bring before mankind, taking the curtain and telling your love for God. He's revealing so much that until now in human history, no prophet or no creation wished to reveal. They all also saw you as a Lucifer, they call you Satan. You are the enemy of God. So take this moment, don't let this moment pass away. All since human creation created on earth, we always came because you are our Father. And our wish was that you give up and come back to God. But finally, hear the voice of God's heart. See His kindness, His love, His compassion. And don't let pass this time. When Michael say this thing, then Michael start crying so much. So other archangels, they came and they took me in arm. And they shared so many tears with me. Now finally, kingdom of God means the kingdom of love in human heart. It takes a little bit of time. And we all expect this. God's heart should bring the kingdom of God in his lifetime. Then we have no heart and no feeling and no pity for this God heart. Unfortunately, this human creation has shown so much distance and back to this God heart. Even chosen land Germany, he is a stranger. All his life is stranger. It took now hope when he revealing after 40 years so much about God and his hidden what God was holding, his sadness and broken heart. His loneliness and his emptiness. Now this pain and sadness, it will take time before everything will be healed. Like a one house cannot build in one day. This is a process. So many people involved to build one house and so many techniques. So the foundation has laid by God's heart. And it now takes time. When God, love and God's heart will be established in human heart. I, as a Zahid, I bow to God's love. I honestly have forgotten my pain, my crosses, my sorrow, my sadness. In this journey, there was one thing and one goal in my mind and heart. I will never gonna return to God as a man of failure. I will give my life. Maybe I will not able to complete my story of love, but at least my compassion, my loyalty, my whole love, I will carry until I bury. Last days. So many years have been passed in my life, and even today I reminding human creation. I am reminding human creation these spring times which I have carried when I was a little boy, and now I am expressing because this all love and song was in my heart. It was a long journey that I can sing. Now first time before mankind. I try all my life, but circumstances, environment knock me out. And I have to start all over again and again with 0 point. I have spoke the springtime where was no concept in human mind that kingdom of God can be established on earth. But I went on beyond the circumstances, beyond all those pain, suffering and sorrow. All my life, in my mind, my heart, in my eyes, I never let it pass those my observation, my journey and experiences which I have forgot. I carry these dreams. Even I was carrying realities, but there was no response for me. So many people came, so many left me. My own family showed me back. Many partners came, many left me. But it's my journey to bring love in the final destination. Every second, every minute, I thought, I would show my smiling face, and I will keep my days, my year, which are filled with sadness and broken heart. Even I will not show my pain and suffering to God. There was only one thing in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, to see my beloved God, beloved one. That one day he would say, "Oh Zahid, I'm so happy with you. Come in my arms. I want to have this moment to experience your love." And this, in most darkest time, God was moved so much with my attitude, with my motivation, that I am not asking God anything, any help. And even I had not returned home. But always went also in hell to see in this dark hell how many Zahid have been lost this wonderful opportunity, pass away. How many Zahid could become Messiah and Prophet? But they missed their timing, and timing never come back. And they become object of their selfishness, self-centered goal. And they end up in those dark dimensions. How was a near moment of pain and peace? How much near was the moment of love, or they could break the dawn and dark night. But those all Zahid, they make a critical moment in their life. They make a wrong decision. Like a Yaqub who lost his son. His eyes became weaker. 17 years was past. Even he had forgotten the will of God. And mainstream pain and sadness was for in Jacob's heart, for the love of Joseph. Even Joseph had, even Jacob has many sons and daughters. But his overwhelming love for Joseph even 17 years, God became his Joseph. He was longing every way to find his Joseph. He became old man and 17 years. His eyes was not able to see. Finally, one angel took the human form and asked. At this point, he was standing Friedhof near the cemetery. And he came and asked Jacob, for who you researching? Which love has been lost? He says, I lost my beloved Yusuf, my son. I ask even God if he can give me news that Yusuf live on earth or he already passed away and died. But I don't receive this news from God. He says, Jacob, wait here. I go cemetery and I check it out. After a while, this angel who has a human form, he came back. He said, Jacob, what was the name of your beloved son? He said, Yusuf. Then this angel said, Jacob, I went in cemetery, there are millennia past. So many God Yusuf has lost. Which Yusuf you are researching? You see, as the heart of God, all those have reminded me, there were so many Zahid, so many great prophets. Messiah, God has lost them. And Jacob, you are only one to meet your Yusuf. What about God, who lost so many Yusuf, so many loved ones and beloved? This day, Prophet Jacob has repented that the timing, the will of God that He give good news to His society and nation. He has given this timing and this good news and this researching good news and this love. Researching only His one Yusuf. Only one Yusuf. And God has lost countless Yusuf. Of course, heaven are made by wonder and surrounding the love of God. But the pain and sadness, suffering of God's heart once have to go in the hell to see even today. God is searching in dark dimension and cannot find His Yusuf. Million, billion, trillion Yusuf. That's why as a heart of God, it's okay, God called me Messiah, but as a representing God's heart. In my heart, my sadness, my love asked me to go in dark hell to research those Zahid who has forgotten in those hell dimensions. And not only this, the story never end up here. Generation by generation, and even today, in 21st century, in my present time, and 45 years passed in my life, I have made myself great potential people, human being of God. They could be greater than I. But time has proven they came with full inspiration. More and more time passed away. Their inspiration of love was gone, and they have returned back to old world and never came back. Even my eyes was longing. Maybe they will come back. I have not seen them. And I became as an old man. I have sing those songs for the spring time, the love of God where there was no concept that ever can be. Imagine nice to build the word of God. As a stranger, as a homeless, I kept my pain, my sadness in my heart. What shall I say to God now? I'm so pleased as the old days. God overwhelming love is surrounding me. God is so desperate to share so many things. So many things want to share in his about him. I bow to God in my life. He will be in this life and eternal life. Only thing I have searched. I have nothing, any second wish, because I have seen heaven, highest heaven. I have traveled God in many eternities. I have seen neutral dimension, paradise, middle dimension, dark dimension. But the simple thing is, I will remember God. Hold my eternal life. And I don't expect God that He should come every time and all the time when I call Him. I know this my heart of einsamkeit, in broken heart sadness. I don't expect, and I have no condition that God should visit me. I have experiences, so much love of God, and I have so much memory of love of God that this is more than enough for me to live in eternal life and enjoy those all a moment of observation and journey when I was mysterious journey was taking for God. In the true sense is, God knows I have not any really family. Day first, and until I die, my family is God. I'm so much in love with those, my families, or strangers who became my family, to help me to bring God back. And one, God should smile and feel home in human creation. All eternal life I will, this will be my real family who was, heart was beating for God. I will never forget them. But in my spirit, in deep my heart, they will always remind songs and the time of springtime. This day my heart will be find home when all hell will be eliminated. And none single Joseph of God would be in this dark dimension. This day I will feel home. My sister, brother of the world, or I call you my children. While reading this angel book, when some tear comes, then think about the moment also what angel went through. They had a burden of love of God. And they have so many crosses from human beings, suffering and pain. And this archangel, like a Gabriel and Michael and others, in the most dark time, they never return back to paradise. They have forgotten those paradise. Their partner have found some other love. And they was wandering around those dark history of mankind. Little hope, little light. So they can bring God hope and good news that they have found in this dark and worst time period. A new hope, new prophet. We will start now. We're gonna continue. There are many things to say about angel creation. Because this book is for angel creation, but parallel, there are other creation paradise who have participated, but angel has paid the most prices, most cross, most pain, and most suffering. Please listen my voice and what I'm saying with whole heart, and think about it. Make this your time out of golden age for your spirit. This time is right now in your hand, and don't let it pass. This time you can discover the real love of God and live forever in happiness and harmony, your beloved Creator in eternal life. Thank you.